Now, from this insightful reflection of our legacy, we pivot to our next session. This session dives into the evolving idea of wellness, not just as a trend, but as a way of life. Titled Culture of Health, From Movement to Momentum, this panel explores how small habits, supportive communities, and conscious choices are shaping a healthier future. Moderating the session is Professor Saurabh Mukherji, FPM 2002, Professor of Organizational Behavior at IIM Bangalore. He brings years of research and real-world insight into inclusive leadership, social enterprises, and purpose-driven culture building.
Joining him are Mr. Saurabh Bothra, CEO and co-founder of Habuild, a platform helping millions of people build mindful and consistent yoga practices. He believes in transforming health through small, sustainable daily actions, one habit at a time. We also invite Mr. Rishi Pardal, CEO, Biopeak. Biopeak is leading a shift towards proactive and personalized wellness journeys. Mr. Pardal brings in a unique lens on tech-enabled, human-first health ecosystems with a focus on longevity and quality of life. We also invite Ms. Shwetambari Shetty. She's the founder of My Third Space, a fitness expert at Cult Fit. She's creating the largest fitness format at Cult Dance Fitness. As a TED speaker, author, and health coach, she's redefined fitness as fun and inclusive, both offline and online. Let's give a huge round of applause to all our panelists and guest speakers here. Also, a gentle reminder, make sure you scan the QR code and send in your questions.
Shall we do? All right, good afternoon to all of you. Audio is fine, okay. I somehow feel there has been an overdose of health and wellness since morning. Good stuff. I am a health enthusiast, but that's one of the challenges of the present day, that there is a lot of information. We all know it is important for us, but we are not that great in being healthy and fit. I mean, how many of you are actually taking your walks after every 20 minutes, which Dr. Devi City talked to you about in the morning, right? I mean, we all listen to it, we said it is important, but I doubt whether all of you are doing that. And that's what we are going to discuss today in this session, that despite the fact that of a lot of our awareness about health and fitness, why is it that there is what we typically call as a knowing-doing gap? And then we will talk about the community aspect of it. Now, some of you might be wondering, what does community got to do with it? And there, one has to understand that as human beings, when we evolved from that single cell thousands of years ago to what we are today, this very complex biology out here, somehow the cells are still trying to figure out how to seek that food which will consume less energy to seek than what I will get out of it. Effectively, what I'm trying to tell you is that the brain and the cell, everything is in a mode of being very conservative as far as our being is concerned. And hence, we are all inherently designed to be lazy. Please accept that whenever you are thinking of anything of fitness, you are going against your natural instinct that, why should I do that? Because I don't want to spend the energy which I need to store for my survival. Now, that is exactly where the community becomes very important, because while the brain can be constraining, it can also be very facilitative. And communities is kind of a hack for us to say that, okay, if others are doing it, if there is a kind of a social norm around it, then why not do that? So here we have today in our panel where three of the very extraordinary people here, the panel before me, they were saying that all of you must be already the customers of the panel members. Now, as far as this panel is concerned, I would do it the other way around, saying if you are not their customer, you better be at least a customer of each one of them. And that's what we would try to discuss here, that how is it that we can make health a habit, and where does the entire community aspect come in? So to start off, what we will do is I will request each of my panel members to briefly tell us about what motivated them to start the particular organization or movement that they are currently running. Was it a very personal experience, or was it about looking at certain dimensions of our life and society? And once we hear them, then we will have I have some questions which we will keep on asking them. To Sourav, over to you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting us here. So I think we spoke about information, and I would want everyone to implement that right now. So can we please stand up? Yeah, you can laugh about it. And I just want you to just say hi to next 4 people so we can do hi.
Hi. Because
Hi.
live what we are telling. Hey,
Yes.
hi.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. You can settle down. Would you like to just move around a little bit, just shake your hands, if possible? That would be really nice. Just shake your right hand, shake your left hand. Yeah, I can see some people already doing this. It's so good. Shake your right hand again. Come on, everyone, right, up, 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 up. Left, up, 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 up. Right again. Stretch, 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 stretch. Touch your chin. Yeah, I know how many of us are listening now. What's a chin? Okay, let's settle down. So when I talk about Habuild, this is exactly what we do. Information everyone has. How do you implement? In a very simple way, in a polite request, is that we want everyone to follow. Like implementation of the information is what Habuild is. It's short form of habit building. So I have been listening about practicing yoga since a long time, almost when early 2000 years, everyone was talking about yoga is good. But when COVID struck, everyone realized it's important. And then during COVID, I realized that everyone knows what needs to be done, but how should they do it is something that we wanted to help people with, and that's how Habuild was born. Thank you.
Thank you, Sourav. Go ahead, Rishi. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I was a corporate executive, like potentially many people in this room, and I spent 27 years working for various multinational companies, and it took a toll on my body. And sometime in late 22, this manifested itself into medical conditions, and I was advised, to do some surgery. And the surgery involved removing a particular organ. And I was thinking to myself when I went to the hospital that I'm potentially very young to be doing an organ removal surgery now, and what kind of impact it will have on my life going forward. So cut to the chase, and long story short, I scoured the world for solutions, but all that medicine had to offer was similar surgery. Perhaps the mode of surgery was different, perhaps the post-surgery care was better, but everybody said you got to do the surgery. And then I came across a boutique service that changed things around. And that boutique service was not based on norms, but it was based on me as a human being, me as an individual. They studied my genetics, they studied my epigenetics, they looked at my metabolites, my biochemistry, but they didn't stop there. They connected the dots, and I think the professor spoke about the cell. There are 3 trillion cells in your body or thereabouts, and they saw where those blockages were at the cellular level, what was actually causing the symptoms that was manifesting in a medical condition. And we changed that. We changed it from a diet perspective, we changed it from a lifestyle perspective, exercise perspective, supplementation perspective. 3 years later, I haven't had the surgery. I lead a normal life. I travel around, I spend time with my family. And somewhere in this journey, I thought this boutique service should not remain a boutique service. And Professor, you spoke of Atmanirbhar Indian brands. And so we are trying to create a brand from India that's about predictive, preventive, precise medical science that is unique to you, and that will create your routine, your way, so that you can live life to the fullest. And that's really the story of Biopeak. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So I actually wanted to get everyone to stand up and sit down and stand up and sit down and do some
I think
squats.
that's a good idea.
No, but
Squats?
you already did it. Okay. You didn't tell me. Maybe we'll do it at the end. But hello, everyone. So I have always been inclined to sports and fitness, but growing up in a typical Indian middle-class family, my parents obviously had other plans, which is, you know, study, work. And I worked at HSBC for 8 years, and I loved it. It was like my only job, and I loved it. But a happy accident led me to the world of fitness. And when I did some courses, and when I took my first class for one client, the joy and the smile and the happiness after that session led me to believe that, and convinced me that this is the industry I want to be in for the rest of my life. I started in this industry very late at 31. Was an independent trainer for a while. Then I started my first fitness center called the Tribe Fitness Club in 2014. It got acquired by Mukesh Bansal's CureFit in 2017. And then the last 8 years, we've been building cult centers across the country. So we have like over 500 centers across the country, changing the life of fitness and health of people. And then last year, I started something called My Third Space, which is also in fitness space. This is for all, but my primary focus now is for women. So my third space is fitness for all, but more for women, and I have 80% women, and yeah, I'm here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Shwetambari, I will go with you first with the question. See, this enthusiasm about signing for something, getting a gym membership,
Yeah.
right? Being part of that high voltage stuff where people are exercising and you have this stuff, but then it radically tapers off. I mean, there is all this data about how gym membership increases before Christmas and after New Year, and then, you know, it kind of tapers off.
Yes.
So how do you break that, saying, how do I ensure that my clients are making it as a habit? You have to make them excited about it, but is there something else that you do to make it a habit among them?
Yeah. Okay, there's a long answer to this, but I'm going to try and keep it very short. I think before you sign up into a gym, okay, a gym is not all place fitness. Fitness can be done in so many different ways, right? It can be done at home, it can be done out on the street, it can be done at the gym, it can be done through sports. There's so many ways to do it. But before you sign up into a gym, I think we need to first think, why am I doing it, okay? That's A. It should not be under, okay, it's New Year now, or it's a resolution, or because I have a goal. A goal is great, but what we have seen, or I have seen in the last 14 years work, is when you do something as a community or a group, or when you have an accountability coach, you end up doing this for a long period of time, right? And from my Tribe Fitness Club to Cult to my third space, our retention numbers have always shown very high, upward of 60–70%, because we do everything in a group, okay? When you independently go and sign up, you have to be very, very self-motivated. If you don't fall in the category of self-motivated, then it must be because your doctor has told you that you have to work out now. Then you don't have a choice. But otherwise, always find an accountability partner. It can be your best friend, it can be a sibling, it can be your spouse, or it can be somebody you have actually met at the gym, right? When you have an accountability partner, chances of you showing up minimum 3 times at the gym and being very consistent are very, very high. When you don't, chances of you dropping out are very high. Also, when you, Cosmopolitan Body UK, you know, NCBI, they show some results on 20% men, 20% of the men are very intimidated to go to the gym because they feel very clueless. So they take up a membership, go in, but they're so clueless and there's probably no enough help and they drop out. 14% women across are intimidated to go to the gym because of body shaming, not having, you know, a companion. But we've noticed that when people go in together, when it's a group facility, especially for India, it works magic. Chances of consistency are high, chances of retention is high, renewals are high. And when you're consistent, you see wonders happening to your mind and body, and then you never want to stop. It becomes an addiction.
Okay, so an accountability partner or a community to which you are accountable for.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
that seems to be one hack.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Saurav, I'll come to you next. I mean, in my assessment, you are probably pushing this to make it as inclusive as possible, right? I mean, this is not for somebody who is very, muscular or, can do long distance running or endurance, but you are touching people who probably would have been as far away from sports as anybody can imagine. I mean, I know my mother-in-law, my uncle, my aunt, all of them are doing your sessions and they're great fun. I mean, great fan of yours. So how did you do that? I mean, is there something very unique about the way you approached it? Share a little bit among us. And this morning, Dr. Devi Shetty very clearly said, whatever you do, please do yoga, right? So that's very important, yes.
Yeah, so I have another question for people that if you have, I'm sure you have read about it, what's the minimum duration of exercise, yoga, fitness you should do in a day? If anyone would like to just shout the answer. 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 30 minutes. So I'm listening to 30 minutes a lot. 30 minutes, 60 minutes is what we think, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
So perfection is something that we are all used to. Like, I want perfect 30 minutes for me to do a workout or yoga or whatever you want to call it. And here's the hack. Whenever you're talking about physical benefits, there are two aspects to it. One, showing up. Second, physical benefits. We always step or directly take that step that, oh, what's the physical benefit I'm going to get out of it? But people forget that showing up is more important. And here's my suggestion to all of you. It's absolutely fine to do it for 5 minutes also.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to do a 5 up. If you have not been doing anything, don't think about it that ki acha 30 minutes to karna hi hai. No, not required. If you don't have time, if you're busy on a day, it's absolutely fine to do it for 5 minutes. What happens when you do that? Your brain understands that I'm taking out time for myself. Eventually, you will automatically take out 30 minutes also. I'm not saying that you should do only 5 minutes forever, but when you're starting, you have to come out of this something called as all or nothing trap. If I have 30 minutes, I'll do it. If I don't have, I'll not do it, right? So let go of the perfection, let go of this concept that I want 30 minutes for it. It's absolutely fine. The first step is showing up, and your brain recognizes that. More and more you show up, so frequency is important, right? It's not about the physical benefits on day one, it's the frequency. So the more often you do it, you're building that habit in your brain, and eventually your body, as ma'am suggested, that you get into the addiction, right? Good addiction, but it takes time.
Yeah.
So very fundamental suggestion, don't aim for perfection, don't fall on this all or nothing trap. Just do it, show up, do it for 5 minutes, it's absolutely fine. And this is what I tell people. Like, people on day one are intimidated that, oh, how can I do it for 45 minutes? I've not done it. I tell them that it's fine. Just drop off from the online session, and that's the benefit of an online class, right? If you go to a gym or an offline center, you have to spend 45 minutes because you are under peer pressure that, oh, everyone is here, how can I leave? But in an online class, you can just press, exit, end, leave, right? So that's what we have been telling people, and we have seen people are doing streaks of 850 days, right? Like, I spoke to someone yesterday who has been doing yoga with us, 848 days. My personal streak count is almost 1960 right now, okay. 1960 days.
Okay, okay. That definitely intimidates us, by the way, okay?
Yeah, like, so you have, see, I am scared right now, by the way, sitting in front of all of you, so I have to tell something that makes me feel better. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing 1960. Right. So I started practicing online on 22nd March 2020, until today morning. I took the session in the morning and then came here. Okay. So I've been doing it consistently since then. It is not to, scare you, it's just to tell you that it's possible. Right? Because I'm teaching habit building, I have to show up myself so that I can tell people that, yeah, you can do it too.
No, it also shows how healthy you are because you have been able to show up, right? But one thing that intrigues me a little bit, because when I was reading about you, you also have said no 0 day. And that no 0 day again sounds a bit intimidating. So can you please explain that? How do you balance these two? And saying no 0 day, so just how do you do that?
Yeah, so I think, again, the point of perfection, like, would you consider sitting up, standing up and sitting down 20 times as a no 0 day? The answer has to be yes. So if in your mind you have defined a no zero day as something for 30 minutes, that's a problem. Exactly the point, right? No zero day does not mean you have to do everything. No zero means 1%, 10%, 20% is okay. Some days when you have time, take out 100% of your time. Great, good. But if you don't have time, just do breathing for 5 minutes sitting, just conscious breathing. And signal your brain that, yeah, I have done something for myself today, and I can tell you this is the magic, or this is where the magic lies.
Thank you. Rishi, I come to you because yours is a very deep subject in some sense, right? You're talking about science meeting, physical fitness and sweat, etc. So explain to us a little bit about this importance of what you explained as a personalized analysis. The other side, let me also argue that sometimes we get too attached to our gadgets, right? And we said, oh, this analysis, let me send my saliva to UK and they will come and tell you which genes you don't have and which genes you have, right? So that's the other side. So how do you make a balance between the two, and what is typically your advice to the people who come to you?
Yeah, so first of all, I think, you raised this point about sending your saliva to the UK. You don't need to. First of all, most of the assays that they will use are Western. You're Indian, you're different. And it's far better probably to keep that here in India, and there are now the data systems are being built so that people can relate your data to an Indian set and talk about that, right? But coming back to this, so I think it is a period where you learn about yourself, which is what I call the discovery period, where you connect all the dots. And the problem today is there are many people who do the individual tests and the various dimensions that we spoke about, but nobody brings it all together for you. So if you take 100 GB of data about yourself and go to a doctor or go to a hospital, and the question I guarantee you will get is, "Ye kyun kiya?" You don't need to do this, right? But here now we have people who actually connect the dots for you. And they're connecting the dots in an Indian context. So for example, I'm sure many of you read longevity books, and in the West right now, one of the drugs that is being recommended for longevity is called rapamycin. And a lot of the people who writing these famous books are recommending it. It's an immunosuppressant. It is given to people who are going through an organ transplant so the body doesn't reject the organ. So in the name of longevity, now think about it in India, it's a high pathogen environment. If we start giving people or recommending people rapamycin, we'll bring down the immunity systems and people will die of common cold. So we just can't blindly follow what we are reading. In my own personal journey, when we were doing all these things for me, we discovered that my gut flora at that time was such that it was rejecting curds. Now, I had irritable bowel syndrome as one of the symptoms, and the more curds I was eating, because the Indian parlance is you eat dahi when you're, when you're unwell, right? So the more dahi I was eating, the worse I was becoming. So when we looked at that data, we could take it out of my diet for some time, give my gut a chance to reset and bring it back appropriately. So I think there is a period of discovery, as I said to you, when we can customize what you need for that point in time, and then take it through the logical journey with, milestone-based interventions, milestone-based testing, and that actually then changes the outcomes. Sometimes the wearables, and I was very fond of wearing wearables, I'm still wearing one of them, and sometimes I can see, I experiment with 2 different wearables on 2 different hands, and the measurements of the same body doing the same activity at the same time with the same amount of rest is so different that one is telling me to stop and one is telling me to push harder. So I think we should stop getting into these isms and ologies and, even he said it, 30-minute is the only workout that matters, and so on and so forth. Listen to your body.
Yes.
Learn about your body, and once you listen and learn, you will know what's right for you. And I think that's the nudge you can get today.
Very quickly also.
Professor, I wanted to add something. So I'm personally a big fan of tests and etc. that you just spoke about, and I believe in doing all of it. But I just want to ask in this room, how many of us actually regularly do blood work? Just simple blood work. See, that's very, yeah. Just, sorry? What is regular? Every 6 months, like your basic comprehensive. The detailed ones can come later. But you just saw the hands, right? That's very, very few. I think the first awareness we need to create is why this is so, so important, right? We're not going to get into the detail of that, but a regular health checkup takes no time. It just takes some of your blood, that's all. And you will get so much information about what's going on inside the body. There's no point in going to the gym and like spending 30, 40, 50 minutes and creating burnout through workout as well, because there's workout burnout as well, not just work burnout, right? And quickly, I wanted to give you one example why I believe so much in blood work, right? So my father is a big believer of blood work, and he's been doing it from very, very young age, and which is why I also, it's a habit. But my father, and then there's my friend's father, okay? Both of them were diagnosed with colon cancer. Now, my dad did his checkups as soon as he saw some blood in his stool, okay? He didn't wait. Maybe like 2 times, whatever, then he went in for his detailed checkup. My friend's father waited it out, thinking, oh no, my body is just going through some heat and stuff like that. And then he waited, just drinking a lot of tender coconut. Long story short, my father identified the cancer in first stage. We resolved it through surgery, et cetera, He didn't even have to go through chemo. He's 76, 77 right now. And it happened just like 4 years ago. And my friend's father, it went to stage 4, he passed away, right? The reason why I said this is preventive is there, right? And Biopeak also does that, but preventive is there. How many of us are using these simple methods to take care of ourselves? It's not about the gym. That comes later. First, we got to understand what's happening inside this body and inside the mind.
So is it like once in a year, or you are suggesting even once in 6 months?
No, I do it once in 6 months. But I would also, even once a year is great to start with. In my gym, I make it mandatory. No gyms do that, by the way. I think I'm probably the only one in India that does, it makes it mandatory. So every member who joins Third Space, I've built it as a package. You don't even have to pay extra. It's part of the package of the membership. It's mandatory you do blood work. Unless someone comes and tells me that, look, I'm petrified of needles and I can't do it, then it's a different story to solve. But otherwise, I make it mandatory. We look at their blood work based on that. We fix their deficiencies through our nutritionists. Because if you have low vitamin D and 12 and stuff, and then you're going to come and work out 60 minutes, that's dangerous. So we don't want you to just come and work out. We want you to first understand your own health before you work out, right? So once in a year is fantastic. Once in 6 months.
On birthdays, you can give a gift to yourself.
Yeah.
This is what a community member suggested, that
Exactly.
just take out time on your birthday and give yourself a blood work gift.
Okay.
Yeah, agree.
All right, that's a good suggestion. Yeah. So, question for you, Saurabh, but any of the others also can weigh in. That is this whole fitness and wellness thing an urban bubble, right? And 65% of Indians stays in villages and small towns. So, from your perspective, how are you seeing that? I mean, are we seeing that those people who are not in these big cities, they are also becoming health conscious, or that this is only confined to urban, and then what exactly can we do to kind of bring that momentum?
So I personally have people from tier 2 and tier 3 cities also doing regular exercise with us. And I guess when we talk about diabetes or weight gain, I'm sure everyone knows the data that almost 13 crore people in India are suffering from diabetes, and WHO said that we will hit 10 crore in 2025, which is way already beyond. So, and of course, the majority of problems might be in the tier 1 city. I don't have that data, but I'm sure that tier 2, tier 3 cities also are picking up the movement part. And movement is generally good. So one thing I'll tell you, and when we talk about Habuild, this is what my mom told me, right? हम घर का काम करते हैं, हमारा exercise उसी में हो जाता है. And that's where I know that she was not right, but you can't tell your mom anything, right? You नहीं बोल सकते हो. You have to wait for her to say that I'm having knee pain, and then she'll ask you that, no, tell me 4 asanas that will help. And I was like, no, now I'll not say. You have to join my session. So my mom is a regular member with us. And that's how it inspired us to, build something for mothers. So in our community, 50% plus people are moms. It's not even women, it's moms. Like you said, your mother-in-law does. Anyone here who is part of Habuild community already? All moms I can see. Thank you so much. So yeah, so it is picking up in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. I know my Masi stays in a tier 2 city, Karanja. It's in Maharashtra. And that small village has 80 people from Habuild community. So I know it's a fact that tier 2 and tier 3 are also picking up. Yeah.
Awesome.
Others can also share.
I'd like to just offer another perspective here as well, and I agree with you. If you look at these blue zones, right, these areas in the world where people live the longest,
Yeah.
Okinawa is one, Sardinia is another, there are a few others scattered around the globe. What they found is it's this constant activity and gentle activity, the routine of doing your daily work, your mom's perspective,
Yeah.
coupled with that healthy ingredient eating, staying pollution-free relatively, and so on and so forth, it's driving longevity. They've done studies now to prove that there's a big link between, may not be specifically going to the gym or playing football, but in general being active every day, and even walking, movement is really beneficial. So I don't think that one has to look at these very high, intense periods of activity and believe that only that makes a difference, right? And sometimes in our quest to chase that activity, what we deprioritize is recovery. Because let's not forget that exercise actually destroys muscle. It's recovery that builds muscle.
Yeah.
So in our quest to be active all the time, and pump iron every day, you may not be giving enough time to your body to recover, and that may also cause a problem, right? So you're constantly in a state of breakdown, as opposed to constantly in a state of build-up. Now, as lay people, we may think like that. I was surprised to find one of our clients who's a professional sports person who was in this trap. The constant activity trap. Let me not miss a day of training. Let me also train every day in the off season. Let me, this 365 days, I must be in the intense zone 4 type of training. It wasn't helping, and actually calming them down, giving them days of recovery, weeks of off, built back more muscle, built back more stamina, built back more flexibility than being in a constant state of breakdown. So that's the other aspect one must recognize.
Awesome. So rest is as important as working out, right?
Oh, 100%.
Though Sourav says no 0 days, so we have to be balancing
but
about
he
that.
defined-
I mentioned that the definition of no zero is different
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
He's got a great definition.
Yeah.
So Savasana is also workout.
I-
It's okay.
I-
I just
I totally agree to it.
Yeah.
If you intentionally do Shavasana, not the one that you are talking about, but if you intentionally do Shavasana, I would count it as a no 0 day.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but yoga nidra can solve a lot of problems, right, Sourav?
Yes, Yog Nidra I was mentioning, yes.
Yeah.
Shwetambari, one specific question for you, because you were telling how you are focusing on women's health.
Yes.
And there is so much data now coming up. For example, we know that women athletes have more ACL injuries than men. And they are saying that's because we never studied women separately. We just thought that a woman is like a miniature man. And I mean, there's the
Exactly.
whole stuff, right? So just tell us a little bit about what you are doing in those aspects.
Yeah, so my focus at Third Space, and soon we are going to be online as well, is women's strength training, right? First of all, I mean, training for women itself is quite niche, but women's strength training is even more niche, so that's what we want to bring in. But like Professor said, all the studies that are conducted, right, whether how much protein you need to consume, what kind of training, everything is mostly done on men. And there's very, very limited or almost no data on how women must train. Now, I'm doing courses, but more than anything else, women have the power of hormones. This is something that I've learned. I use my menstrual cycle as my monthly report card, right? It is my report card. Like, I perform based on that. And it's something that I'd like all women here to understand, and all my men, you need to understand and carry that information for your women, right? When you train also, train according to your cycle, right? When you train according to your age, okay? Perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause is tough, but it is inevitable, okay? So brace it, It's absolutely fine. It's a phase of our life that we have to go through. But the reason why I'm going so deep into strength training for women, because I want all the women that I have access to feel as strong as I feel at 45. I'm 45. And trust me, I spend 12 hours a day working. I'm not proud of that fact. It's not about, oh, I work long hours. No, I do what I love. But if I can have that energy and then go back home and spend 3 hours with my child playing and still get like 7.5 hours of good sleep and show up day after day, it means that I'm doing something right, right? So my focus for women is to understand, and whether it's strength through yoga, strength through Pilates, strength through strength training, whatever form it is, if you do a little bit every single day, your body will thank you years from now. Right? That's all. It's about aging gracefully, and that's my motto. It's not, I don't talk about size. I don't talk about weight loss. I have women of all ages, all sizes, everything coming to my gym with all kinds of injuries, right? We just ensure that everybody does enough strength training to be able to feel strong year after year. We also help them train as per cycle, train as per age group and everything, because most women that come, my average age is like 35 to 40. So my goal is to really change perspective of strength training for women. And I'm so proud because like there are women in my gym who do 10 kg and do it beautifully, and that's enough for them because of their body type and everything else. And there are women in my gym also picking up 100 kg, right? It takes all types, but you need to just appreciate and make them understand why your 10 kg is just perfect and you don't need to go over that, and why you are capable of doing 100 kg. It's about education, awareness, and constantly reminding, you know, that you just need to do this. There is no, it's non-negotiable.
Just let me clarify, this 10 kg is what? I mean, a single weight in one hand?
No, I'm talking about like maybe 10 kg back squat.
I was just
Not 10
clarifying.
kg barbell curl.
100 kg and all, yeah, sorry.
I'm talking about like squatting with 100 kg.
Yes. All right. We have a little bit of time for audience question. I can see one question, but I think that we have already answered, Chandra Kanojia, that how do we make it a habit? And I think all of them have said that showing up is more important. It's not like going and burning yourself and feeling like completely, wasted on that. So is there any other question? I know my friend Vishal Bhaskaran is somewhere there to curate the questions. Yeah, but it is just showing me a moon. So, doesn't seem to be a question there. Yeah. You come here and see what is it showing.
I'm not sure it's a moon. It doesn't look like a moon.
It is a moon.
It's a sun or a moon. I mean, I know there is an eclipse around the corner, but yeah. Okay. Okay, Chandra, second question. What are the health metrics that you recommend to track? All right, that's like, I mean, I'm not counting on the blood report that she talked about, but in general, what would be for us commonsensical to track ourselves? That are we healthy? Are we not? Etc. Yeah.
I think it's highly personalized.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you should track. There is no one size fits all.
Yes.
This whole thing about chasing this universal metric is causing a lot of problem, right? People are getting recommended statins when their cholesterol hits 200.
Yeah.
And it may not be, sort of required at all because your genetics may be that you just are going to be that way, right? So I think this one-size-fits-all metric we must get away from. Baseline yourself, like she said. I mean, there are many ways to do it. Baseline yourself and then, create your priorities, and that will tell you what you need to track, right? So if you are, at a particular point in time needing to build some stamina, track stamina metrics. If you're needing to build strength, track that, right? But I think we should get away from this universal symbol from God that manifests in a particular metric that changes every year, right?
Yeah, I have one health metric that everyone should track, which is the number of days you're practicing. Yeah. So in Habuild, we have a saying, measure your days and not your weight.
Yeah.
So that's one metric that everyone should track. The number of days you are consistent rather than the weight or whatever other health metric. That's P0, right? Like, and of course, if you want to go deeper, check your D3, B12 and blood work, everything.
Would you then tell them that maybe if someone has never done any testing, to start off with like one comprehensive blood work as a starter?
See,
At least gives you like baseline
Yeah.
of where my cholesterol, or if they've never even identified what cholesterol or vitamins and everything is.
See, I think it's good, but just remember that blood work tells you your current picture.
Correct.
It doesn't tell you from where you're coming and why it is like that. So I think this baselining is a little more comprehensive. It's a once in a lifetime kind of a thing. That's good. And then there are adjustments that you make. And it's no different than all the business problems that I'm sure people in this room solve, right? You first try to find the level of where you are and what that problem is and how serious it is, or what the strengths are and weaknesses of a situation are, and then you go from there, right?
Exactly.
So blood is great, but it tells you a picture at a point in time, right? And I think the way your body processes those metabolites, your genetic makeup. I'll give you another example. Another famous scientist right now, longevist, is talking about grip strength, right? How grip strength is the #1 predictor of your mortality, right? And if you are 40 years old, you should be able to lift X number of kgs, which for men is your body weight for 1 minute, and if you're a woman, it is 75% of your body weight for 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you as Indians that we have a certain gene that impedes your grip strength. So as you're chasing this metric, you're fighting against your genetics. So I would say that, understanding that and creating the right metric, so maybe for an Indian man it is 75% and a woman it is 60%, I don't know the answer, but I'm just saying that, just blindly following something is a problem.
Okay. I know we are towards the end of the time, but it's a very important question that has come up from the audience, from Praveen. So very quick thoughts on it, because it's a pretty deep subject, saying, what about mental health, right? I mean, we all are talking about largely in the domain of physical health.
Yes.
But what are your quick observations on mental health? Saurabh, I'll go with you and then we'll pass
Yeah,
it.
I think, of course, mental health is very important, but I can tell you for sure, movement is primary for your mental health as well. Like when you move your body, you release so many good hormones, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, all of that, which helps you stay, energetic, feel good. So that's all I would say. But of course, breathing is one thing that I recommend highly for people who want to manage their minds. So that's it, I think. Of course, it's a very large topic and a deeper subject.
All right.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think it's now been proven beyond doubt that your strength and physical health impacts your mental health, and the combination of these two is your lifespan, is your health span.
Yeah.
Right? So building that is, I think, absolutely critical. We are time out. Praveen, you asked a Biopeak specific question. I promise to seek you out and we can meet in the stall and I'll answer it.
Okay. Shwetambari, any closing comments on this?
Well, okay, it's for all, not just for women, since we've only been doing Shwetambari equal to women. No, I would just say, this is on personal experience. Yes, you all have to edit fitness and wellness according to your lifestyle, all of that, like Rishi said. But remember, muscle is the only age-reversible organ in the body, right? The more muscle you carry, the better you're going to age, better your metabolism, better health, right? So really start with wherever you are, start with online. That's a great start, and like you said, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but wherever you are, just start. Start with just walking 20 minutes a day, if not anything else, and the strength can come later. But that's the message I want to leave everybody with. Aging gracefully is important. Aging is inevitable.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you to all our panelists for that enriching and fun discussion, right? It's a powerful reminder that small conscious shifts in how we approach our health can create a lasting impact. On that note, we also invite all of you to explore and experience and interact with the Biopeak experts at the Experience Center just outside the hall. We now invite Sanjeev Mulchandani, IMB alum, Executive VP and Business Head at TV9 on stage to felicitate our panelists and moderator for their contribution.